Hey everyone, and welcome to today's explainer. We are going to demystify exactly how you can build multiple income streams while still holding down your 9-to-5 job. For the longest time, the actual roadmap to wealth was kind of kept a secret. Nobody really talked about where they put their money, why they did it, or how much they were actually making. Well, today, we're breaking all of that wide open. We're going to look at real numbers, exact percentages, and the hard, raw data from our source material to show you exactly how to build a serious portfolio of income streams, long before you ever hand in that resignation letter. Okay, let's dive into this. The absolute fundamental shift you have to make right now is understanding the concept of leverage. When you're just starting out, you're trading your time for money, right? It's literally like trying to manually brute force a metal bottle cap open with your bare hands. I mean, sure, it might work eventually, but it's completely exhausting. To build multiple income streams without totally burning yourself out, you need to use 4 distinct wealth levers. It's all about working smarter, not harder. So here is our roadmap for the explainer. We're going to move from beginner steps to advanced scaling. We'll start with level 1, trading time, move to level 2, monetizing expertise, level 3, building an audience, level 4, investing money, and finally, stacking horizontal income. Let's start with section 1, level 1, trading time. Listen, if you are sitting at a 9-to-5 job right now, congratulations, because you are in the exact right starting place. A harsh reality that a lot of these flashy internet gurus completely ignore is that your first $100,000, and honestly probably your first million, is going to come from your earned wages. Just take a look at this breakdown of our source's exact 7-figure income structure back from her finance days as a private equity partner. Notice how heavily this relies on her active participation. She had a 20% base salary, 30% in carry or distributions, up to 40% in performance bonuses, and the rest made up of commissions. A job is a massive driver for early wealth creation. But, and this is a big but, you can't stay here forever. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why. Look at the massive difference between these two tax rates. If you're super successful and earning over $622,000 a year from a traditional job, you are getting slammed with a staggering 37% tax rate. But if that exact same amount of money comes from long-term capital gains, which is investment income, you pay just 20%. When you are only pulling the time lever, you are effectively double paying for the right to trade your hours for money. Transitioning out of this first lever isn't just nice to have, it is financially critical. So how do you make that transition? You start a side service business to generate that initial capital. And you've got a few solid options here. You could sell custom hours, kind of like the side gig called Selling South, that netted its creators $40,000 a year, literally just making business introductions down in Latin America. Or you can play the arbitrage game. Find outsource experts on Upwork for $10 an hour and charge your clients $100. Or just go the blue-collar route and start a physical service, like pressure washing, which has a super low $500 entry fee. It's great for networking for sure. But here's the hard truth. Service businesses are amazing to start, but they are an absolute nightmare to scale. You will inevitably find yourself chasing down unpaid invoices and suffering from what we call scope creep, which basically means you end up doing way more work than you originally agreed to for the exact same amount of pay. Moving on to section 2, lever 2, monetizing expertise. Once you've actually spent time in the trenches of your 9-to-5 building real, undeniable skills, you can stop selling your raw hours and start selling your specialized knowledge. A highly lucrative way to pull this lever is through consulting and board seats. You can easily jump on platforms like intro.co and charge $250 to $500 an hour just to take a phone call. Over time, you pivot those calls into flat retainers. Just imagine a $10,000 a month flat fee to dedicate just a few hours a week to help a company scale. Even better than that, board seats. These things can pay anywhere from $30,000 to $300,000, and you're only attending 4 quarterly meetings. The ultimate hack to landing these seats is identifying an executive's biggest pain point, like say deal flow or fundraising, and solving it for them up front. Take this young guy named Jamie from our source material. He noticed a YouTube channel scaling, pitched them an unsolicited, brilliant strategy document out of the blue, and practically guaranteed himself a consultant role and a future board seat. But here is the hard truth you need to hear. Joining a board carries immense fiduciary risk. If the executives at that company do something shady or illegal, think FTX or Enron, you as a board member can face massive, life-ruining lawsuits. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it shows the realistic, grinding, multi-year growth required for another expertise channel, public speaking. This is not some overnight success fairy tale. In year 1, you might scrape together $3,000. Year 2, maybe you hit $25,000. By year 3, you're finally hitting $90,000. Eventually, yes, you can absolutely command $50,000 to $100,000 per single event. The global events industry is a multi-billion-dollar machine, and they are desperate for experts to attract ticket buyers. But we need a reality check here. I want to totally demystify the deeply unglamorous side of this circuit. You are not just getting paid for the 1 hour you look cool on stage. You're getting paid for the 24 hours of stressful preparation, the missed flights, being stuck overnight in a random Topeka airport hotel, and literally eating Cool Ranch Doritos and a Sprite for dinner from a vending machine because everything else is closed. The hourly rate simply isn't as magical as it seems when you factor in the sheer grinding exhaustion of corporate travel. So if you want to completely detach your income from your time and travel, you pull the lever on info products. The success formula here is pretty straightforward. Cash plus curiosity plus crowd. Find a specific problem people are willing to pay cash for, something you are naturally curious about, and ensure there is already a massive crowd looking for the answer. A great way to test this? Search for Facebook groups. If a niche topic has a group with over 100,000 members, boom, your demand is validated. You don't need a huge course. Our source literally just created 2 super basic PDF guides on cannabis investing, tossed them up on Gumroad, and passively made $4,166. That completely severs the tie between your earnings and the clock. All right, Section 3, Level 3, Building an Audience. Guys, if you want a tool for infinite scalable leverage, audience building is it. And the most direct, actionable route to building an audience right now is launching a newsletter. Don't know what to write about? Ask yourself these 4 rapid-fire questions right now. Where do people constantly ask for your opinion? What would you happily do every day without getting paid? What hobbies are you super eager to dive into? And what are you uniquely skilled at? Answering these will immediately give you a short list of perfect niches. By sticking to a topic and consistently delivering value, our Source Grow newsletter from absolutely 0 to 55,000 subscribers in just 8 months. Okay, so how does that audience actually translate to money when you're just starting out? Sponsorships. Let's do the math using CPO, or cost per mil opens. Mil just means 1,000. So if you send an email and average 5,000 opens, you divide that by 1,000 to get 5 units. Multiply those 5 units by a pretty standard $50 rate, and there you go. That equals a $250 payday per newsletter. But you have to be super careful of the sponsorship trap. Hear me out. Sponsorships are merely a stepping stone. If a brand pays you $5,000 to promote their cool new product on your platform, they have already done the math. They know for a fact they're going to make, on average, $50,000 off your audience from that exact same post. The hard truth here is that you are leaving 90% of the value on the table. The ultimate goal should always be to eventually sell your own products to your own audience, so you get to keep the entire pie. Section 4, Level 4, Investing Money.
This is the ultimate lever. This is where your money acts as your most loyal employee, literally working 24/7 to buy you cash-flowing assets. Look at this number on the screen, $93,000. That is the year 2 cash flow figure from a single Airbnb property. How on earth did an employed person pull this off? By partnering up. The employee provided the upfront capital to back the purchase, while a trusted partner provided the sweat equity to completely manage the day-to-day operations of the property.
But physical real estate is definitely not a magical fairy tale. It comes with intense stress and wild volatility, which we call the Airbnb variance. Some months you feel like a genius and are wildly profitable, and other months you're totally in the red. Imagine getting a frantic phone call that a pipe just burst during the biggest, most profitable weekend of the entire year. The property is flooded, it ruins a guest's really expensive guitar, and it ends up costing you thousands of dollars in refunds and emergency repairs. That nightmare scenario is exactly the hard truth that validates the choice to sacrifice a little bit of profit to hire out property management. You want to own the asset, you do not want to manage the plumbing. So the crucial point is that if you want to maximize this investing lever as an employee, you really need to look at boring businesses, like laundromats. The economics on these are just absolutely brilliant. Think about it. The customers actually do the manual labor of washing and drying their own clothes. You get paid in upfront cash, completely eliminating that service business nightmare of unpaid invoices we talked about earlier. It's a recession-resistant basic human need, yielding a massive 15 to 35% return on income. But hard truth time again, there are massive hurdles. They usually require a really high entry cost of around $200,000, and dealing with that much physical coin collection can present very real security issues depending on the neighborhood. Finally, Section 5, Stacking Horizontal Income. Let's move to the last piece and see how this builds into real wealth. This is exactly how risk-averse employees can safely transition out of the 9-to-5 without taking reckless startup-level risks. Think of this next step as the Russian nesting doll method of acquisition. You don't just buy a baseline laundromat and stop there.
You layer a brand new income stream right inside of it by adding soap vending machines. Then you add toy and soda machines. Next thing you know, you're launching a premium wash and fold service, utilizing the exact same floor space. Eventually, the cash flow from these nested streams grows so large, you literally acquire the entire strip mall itself. This is horizontal income, simple, boring side streams stacking up to completely replace a full-time salary.
Listen, you do not have to march in and quit your job tomorrow to become wealthy, but you absolutely have to start pulling these levers. We've walked through exactly how to trade your time, monetize your expertise, build an audience, and invest your cash. At the end of the day, there are really only two types of people in this world: those who just talk endlessly about their plans, and those who actually roll up their sleeves and do the work. The roadmap is sitting right in front of you. So which lever are you going to pull today?